Welcome, welcome, welcome to another What's Up Wednesday, episode 127. Man, we got a smoking hot show for you tonight. Who is this handsome devil in the studio with me?
Nick with Sunshine State RVs in Gainesville, Florida.
So he's in Gainesville. I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and this is the magic of technology. I'm being powered by Volta and Verizon, and you've got a hot Wi-Fi in your yard, apparently, Nick.
I'm in my front yard, in my driveway. I'm hoping my neighbors don't come knocking on the RV and asking me to see it or something in the middle of this. There's a good chance that might happen.
I bet they get van tours all the time. Boy, and we might even get a van tour out of the program tonight from Nick. He's in a different kind of. What kind of van are you in, Nick?
So I'm in an American Coach Patriot. It's on a Mercedes Sprinter chassis, and it's the brand new all-wheel drive MD4. So 24-foot, 4 seats in the front, really cool Mercedes, super luxurious American Coach.
That is so great. So maybe we can talk him out of a tour. So let me share with all of you what we're going to talk about tonight. We've got a jam-packed show. Again, Nick is here to talk about kind of the B van world. Nick, you guys are the world's biggest dealer. How's this work?
The galaxy's biggest dealer.
Galaxy.
Whole galaxy. No, we are in Florida, so we're the number one Class B dealer in the state of Florida, and we're number 3 in the whole United States. And this is according to stat surveys based upon new Class B RV sales. So it's not something I make up, even though if I could make it up, I would make that up. I mean,
it sounds pretty juicy. So and it's 7:00 where you are, I think, right? So thanks for staying up late for us. So I appreciate that. Well, so big show tonight.
Stay up late is my drinking coffee.
If you can help us out with our question format, whether you're on the live or watching the replay, thank you for doing one or both of those. 3 stars, 3 question marks. Help me and Nick see your question more readily, and let us know where you're watching from. That is always a good thing. And if you want to share the weather in your area and the fuel price in your area, that's great. If you don't see your country's flag on the map, please do a shout out so we can get your country's map flag on the map. This is apparently a worldwide sensation. We really need somebody from Africa and South America, though, to get on board with this. Anybody have some relatives down there? Libation Live, Nick is going to join us. He's got a really special treat. We're going to try and do that at the bottom of the hour, so hang in there for that. And the jingle jar, every time we get a super sticker, we jingle the jar. And if you're playing the drinking game, this is what the super stickers look like, by the way. You know, and Matt, I saw yours. We're going to do yours in just a second as a demo. If you're doing the jingle jar game, when the jar jingles, you have to have a sip of whatever it is you're drinking. Fair enough. So let me see if I can find Matt's really quick, because he's already put some dollars in here. So this is what it looks like right there. So thank you, Matt, for your tip. Appreciate that. And if you're playing the jingle jar game, you got to have a drink. I'm holding off on mine until we get through a little more of this tonight. So thank you, Matt, so much. He's a great guy. We met him in Bisbee, Arizona. Also coming up is if you want to share your van or trip story with the audience, this is the email to use, or you can go to my website and fill out the form. We've got a number of these coming in, and we've got a trip we're going to announce here in just a few minutes. People took a big trip to South Dakota. Pretty awesome. This is my van. This is Miss Lily. Let's view out my front windshield. Pretty nice. We can see the Rocky Mountains off to the distance there. It's really awesome. Coming at you from Colorado Springs, which is about an hour south of Denver. I've never really been in the van in this area ever before this, and I'm just really smitten with the mountains. Nick, you ever been to Colorado Springs or Denver?
So I've been to Denver. I have a cousin that actually lives in Denver. Pretty cool. But I go skiing every year with my wife and kids. And so we go to Breckenridge sometimes, Park City and all that. So, so we always fly into Denver, spend a day or two there. It's a pretty neat area.
It's a really great area. And I've got some seriously cool content coming up about it. Tomorrow I'm going to the Garden of the Gods, which is really a spectacular place. It's really mild here, which I'm happy about. It was almost 70 degrees today, 44 overnight, so no AC needed. It kind of cooled down all across the country. What's the temperature in Gainesville? Probably
90.
90?
Solid 90. Yeah.
That's summer Florida. Oh, Lord have mercy. Gasoline here, there's a pretty big spread. If you haven't used this app, app on the left is Gas Buddy. I'm sure, Nick, you coach your customers to get this because literally just driving a few blocks could save you 70 cents. I paid $3.39 today, and down in Fountain, Colorado, which is pretty good. What's the gas in Gainesville?
The gas in Gainesville is the high threes, 390, somewhere around there.
All right, so it's a little cheaper here. That's interesting. And then real estate, I found this everywhere I've been in this Denver, greater Denver and Colorado Springs. It's really expensive here. They're building houses like crazy, but you can't really get into anything for less than $500,000. And anything with anything, a view in particular, is well over $1 million. So it's pretty expensive here.
Denver's a pretty hot spot today, Scott. I don't know if you follow the NBA or not.
Go Nuggets. Didn't they win or something like that?
They won the NBA championship last night. They won it in 5 games. They beat the Heat.
The Miami Heat. That's this game?
No, that is the tall guy game.
I'm such a sports fan. That's so funny. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is what we do. We put out content on van tours, tips, products, places. Got a lot of content going on. We have our own Facebook group now, not just related to us specifically, but just traveling in a van. Search the Facebook for Go Small, Live Large, and that pops up. And guests, we got lots of guests coming up. So next week, Nick, you probably know Nick Recchio of Coachman RV, their B-Van Division GM.
Good friend of mine.
Great friend. Great guy. He's been a little while since he's been on the show, too. You were on once or twice before as well, but we're really excited to have Nick on next week. And then in July, we have Roger and Jane are going to share their trip from Illinois to South Dakota and back. So a big thumb up for Roger and Jane agreeing to do that for us. And Steve Hood, a Travato owner, is going to talk about his 25 national parks in 60 days.
So I met him the other day. He was in the dealership.
It's a small world.
He was in there and we were talking and he told me, I was like, dude, that's a lot. I said, you should write a book about it or something. He's like, well, I'm actually going to go on What's Up Wednesday and talk about it. I'm like, I'm going to be on What's Up Wednesday and talk about it. So
this is awesome. It's a small world. I love it. And then Rob of Roads of Life is going to be celebrating his retirement. He's an Embassy RV owner in August. And then we've got a couple of in-person events. We got the Volta Camp Out at the end of August. And then in October next year, that is 2024, ladies and gentlemen. I got a typo there. The Adventure Van Expo, which is, I'm sorry, that's correct. Adventure Van Expo in October this year is in Chattanooga. We're going to that. And then the event next February, 2024. Are you guys involved with this at all, Nick? Vantopia, Florida?
I feel like that was like a lead in there. It's so funny you bring this up, Scott. So yes, we are the title sponsor for Vantopia's event next February. Scott, you are the celebrity at the event, I hear, and so Scott hooked me up with the guys at Vanlife Outfitters, and we said we want to do whatever we can to make this the best van event in the world, in the galaxy. So yeah, we're gonna have, see where it says swing and stage right there. This is an old map, by the way. Where it says swing and stage, we're gonna have 8 or 10 vans there for people to look at, and then Dwayne Lane, we changed the name of that to Sunshine Avenue. So people are gonna be able to camp with us there. We're gonna be sponsoring it. We're gonna have, I was telling Scott all that, we're gonna have fire pits and this mobile keg system that we're gonna transport kegs around and give out beer. We're going to be debuting some really cool vans. So we signed up with this new this brand new company called 27 North, and they do a lot of off-road adventure vans, expedition trucks, and all that. So I'm really, really excited to show the van community there at Vantopia a lot of what they have as well. And then we're going to bring 6 or 8. We'll probably bring an American Coach, a Coachman, a Road Trek, a couple Winnebagos, and then a 27 North adventure van.
Yeah, it's so great, and I'm just so proud of you going. It was so much fun last year. They're expecting close to 500 vans, and if they all contain 2 people, I mean, it's a small city we just put in the middle of Central Florida, right?
It's insane, because not only is it the 400 or 500 vans, they're last year they sold out on their day passes for Saturday and Sunday. They sold 600 day passes each day, so 600 people were walking around that area along with the 400 or 500 vans that are camping. This year, they're going to sell 1,000. They're going to sell 1,000 tickets to the day passes, people that are not camping, so that way they can come and they can check out the area. So van curious is the word that they coined. I don't know if they coined it, but that's what they told me. There's going to be 1,000 van curious people there on Saturday. So that got me all excited. Like, if somebody is curious about a van, I want to be in front of them. I want my people in front of them, my vans. I want to be there.
Yeah. I'm just really pleased you have that passion, because I think once people get a van, they don't really understand how it changes their life. I mean, this whole thing happened to me because I bought a Travado, right? And it just started from that. And it's so great. Well, we're just really excited. It seems like it's a year away, but it'll be here before we know it. It's already middle of June, which is insane. So we're going to forego saying hi to some of the regulars so we can get some of this info from Nick's brain, which is considerable, into yours on the state of Class B. So this is what we want to talk about for the next 20 minutes or so, kind of state of the industry, particularly vans, but maybe RV in general. We want to share the brands that Sunshine State RVs carries. Some are well known, some less known, and some, like you just mentioned, are brand new. And we're going to talk about service. Service continues to be a real headache for a lot of folks, and Sunshine State RV's approach to service is kind of different, to be honest. And then he's got some tips. I might have one for you too, since now we're in the summer travel season. So all that sound pretty good, Nick?
Yeah, it sounds great to me, Scott. I'm in.
All right. So we did a couple surveys today and yesterday. These are the brands that are available at Sunshine State RVs, as I saw on your website yesterday. So Road Trek Coachman Winnebago, those are the big, well-known ones. And then Midwest Designs and American Coach. You're in American Coach now.
I am.
So the question was, which of these Class B brands are you most interested in? So I'm glad Winnebago got you that bottle of, what we're going to talk about in a minute, because this is pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, no, that's crazy, because, everybody knows the W. It's like, everyone knows the W, everyone sees the W, everyone recognizes it. And I would say, it is probably, in all of RVs, the most noticeable thing, Winnebago. And people
recognized brand.
Calling it a Kleenex. People don't even call it a RV. A lot of people just call it a Winnebago. Oh, look at that Winnebago driving down the road. So I can see how that's the most popular one. But that is very.
It's super interesting, and all the brands make similar but very different rigs across the portfolio. Now, these ones, I have to admit, I'm not super familiar with some of these. So again, this posted this morning. Same question: which of these Class B RV brands are you most interested in? Chinook. I was like, what? So I'm hoping we can talk about some of these brands. So you may have something that somebody is looking for and they don't know you have it. It's kind of the whole point.
So some of this, you got to ring that tip jar, Scott.
Uh-oh.
Come on, man. If someone's, you got to be on it. You got to be on it. So Winnebago is very noticeable. Chinook is interesting because Chinook was a powerhouse back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, up until about 05, went out of business, family-owned company, and then they ended up coming back about 2 years ago, and one of the higher quality builds that we sell, a more expensive RV, a higher-end RV, they make a really nice B+, which is on like a Ford Transit chassis with it's a 24-foot, and they have a fiberglass shell, and then they make a Mercedes, which is a Summit. And then they also make a Transit, like a true Transit. And what's unique about a Chinook is that it has a separate toilet and shower, totally separated. So it has a total dry bath, which in a Class B, you never, ever see a dry bath. So you can toilet and shower, 2 separate rooms in the RV.
Super unusual in the van space.
It is. It is. And I did mention, the new brand that we carry, 27 North. We haven't got our first one yet, but we are real excited about where that segment of the RV industry is going. They're an adventure van, expedition trucks, and so it's pretty cool that they're coming in the market with such a big factory. They're in Springfield, Missouri, and the units that they're making are very, very unique, and there's nothing like it for the price, for the quality, and what they're doing. So real excited about carrying them as well.
That is so awesome. So many in this audience, not surprisingly, are customers of Sunshine State RVs. This is one of your more recent ones. Look at these characters, Bill and Joe. There's Hank Strange.
Wow. I love those guys.
I know, right? And their new transit based Coachman Beyond, right? So big shout out for Bill and Joe there on their new RV.
Excited about the idea of having a Coachman Beyond, and just so happy to finally find what they wanted. And they really thought they wanted something different, and then they came in actually looking at a Chinook, and then they saw the Beyond and fell in love. Nick Recchio will appreciate that next week when he's on.
We'll put that on for sure. That's great. So let's just have you just give us a little.
We got another jingle here, Scott.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I'm looking at my. Ooh, that's a big one too. Holy cow!
So you want to hear something interesting? That is Pavel. He is actually the owner and founder of 27 North.
No way. Here he is.
He is.
Look at. We did this one already? Oh, this is a new one too. Holy cow! I'm really behind. Okay, so RJ, thank you.
What is
about
going on?
About my new Travado 59K from Sunshine State RVs a few weeks ago. Shout out to Austin, Corey, Richie, and Nick. There's another customer for you, so that gets an extra jingle. This is a great one. And look at this one. So Pavel, who is he again? Thank you, sir.
He's the one that founded and started 27 North, that new brand we're carrying out of Springfield, Missouri. Adventure vans, Rex Rover. Look at the Ascender, ASCENDR. It is the most unique, insanely off-road RV you'll ever see. Ascender. Insane.
Ascender. That's amazing. A big shout out, and everybody has to have a sip. That's so great. Thank you, Pavel. Thank you, RJ, for that. Congrats on buying your 59K from the Sunshine State team. So amazing. Let's see. There we go. Man, I'm all over the board tonight. All right. Nick.
Ready, Scott? Have you started drinking?
I have not. That's my problem. My alcohol content is low in my bloodstream. Let's have you talk a little bit, Nick, about kind of state of the industry from your vantage point. You see a lot of different brands. You kind of focus on vans. So just give us a little insight into what you're seeing out there, if you can.
Yeah. So the shipment of RVs is lower right now than it has been in a while. There is, a lot of chassis that are available. Sales of Class A RVs are in the dumps. Sales of travel trailers are in the dumps. And funny enough, from last year to this year, sales of Class Bs are about dead even. So there has not been an effect in the number of units sold of Class B RVs. What there has been a change in is that where last year it was hard to get inventory, this year we have a lot more inventory. So we have a lot of RVs this year. Even though we're selling the same number, we have a lot more RVs. So the factories have been able to catch up. The factories are caught up on everything. Like orders that we're placing now, we're getting them very quickly. There's not a parts shortage or a crisis or anything like that anymore. We're not seeing that. But we are seeing that the value of Class A's and travel trailers, Class C's, all that have really been affected these last 6 months, let's say. But Class B's have stayed. I looked at from 2022 January 1st to May 31st, we sold 3 more RVs than in 2023 January to May 31st. So we're down 3 RVs so far this year, and that's it. Our service is way up, but sales are down 3 RVs, which is, we'll sell 3 more this month, and by the end of June, we'll be dead even with last year. So that's about what the market is saying. That's what all of the the talking heads, that's what they all say, that Class B's is a great market to be in, because it's the only market that is stable right now.
Yeah, that is super interesting. What do you see in the pricing arena in the B vans? I've seen a lot of heavy discounting on the towables in particular. But what are you seeing in the van spaces? It's always a good time to buy a van when you want to get in a van. But what's happening in the price wonkiness? Anything?
Yeah, so the price has shot up so much in the last 3 or 4 years that it's like in our mind. I mean, they just went. Every 3 months I was getting a $10,000 increase from our manufacturers every 3 months. I mean, they were just, another price increase. And so it just shot up so much that it's not coming down, but I haven't got a price increase from any of my manufacturers this year. So things are staying the same price wise. Dealers are able to sell them cheaper right now, it seems like, because there's a lot more sitting at the factories. And so when they're sitting at the factories, we're able to get better deals on them. And so, I like passing the deals on to our customers. And so, if there's one sitting there, I don't mind selling the one I got and just moving on to the next one type thing. So, we are giving great deals right now. And the tough thing is you can get a great deal right now, but if you got to trade something in, it's hard because the values aren't all there. So it's like if you got to sell your house, you'll get a ton, but to go buy another house, you got to pay a ton, and it's it's a tough thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. And we did some comparisons recently, and the depreciation of a van rolling off the lot is not nearly as steep as a towable, in particular, a Class A or Class C. So I think that's another reason why there's been a little bit of a floor to the pricing, because you don't drive it off and lose 30% right away.
Correct. It definitely gets devalued right away, but it is, especially if you got a high quality one, something that's good, you're not going to lose that. I mean, you're not going to lose that right away. But the goal is that you buy it, you keep it, and you love it.
Yeah, and you get all the life experience out of it, which is the whole point.
So I mean, you hear it just like I hear it every day. These vans change people's lives. They 100%. Truly change people's lives. People either had a Class A that they were terrified to drive and never used. They had a travel trailer that they're too old now to hook up and do this or that, or they just don't want anything, or there's just too much of a pain in the butt. They buy a van, and it just opens up so many possibilities to where they can go, what they can do, the life that they can enjoy God's beautiful countryside. Like here, Colorado Springs. That's it's beautiful. You get to see all types of stuff.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, urban camped in Golden, Colorado, where Coors beer is. All the Coors products are made right there. Street camp 3 nights in Golden, Colorado. What a great, charming town. Just can't do that in a Class A necessarily. Let's talk about some of your brands.
So I'm in New York City. Yes, I'm in New York City this last weekend. Sorry, I'll let you move on. New York City. I saw a Winnebago Revel towing an Airstream travel trailer through Manhattan. I took a video of it. I stopped. I took a video. I got to send you this video, Scott. A Winnebago Revel towing an Airstream travel trailer.
That is, they got it together for sure. Going through my net, that's amazing. Let's talk about some of your brands, Nick. Again, I think it's important for people to know about brands, because really it's floor plan that trumps a lot of things for people. Maybe just kind of walk us through some of these we may not be familiar with. So we talked about Winnebago Coachman Road Track, but kind of walk us through American Coach. Maybe you can spin your camera around on that. Just kind of walk us through some of your brands here.
Okay, yeah. So American Coach is they've been making $1 million Class A's for forever, and then a few years ago, 5 years, 6, 7 years ago, they started making these very luxurious Class B RVs, and then so they are super luxury. And then the Chinook, I kind of talked a little bit about Chinook earlier. There's Dynamax, which is the B plus. That's like the size of a Winnebago View. And then everyone knows what a Winnebago is. They're Travado, Solus, Revel, Era. They have a lot of the View, the Echo. There's all those different brands. And then Fleetwood is a branch off of American Coach. They're kind of made in the same factory. Fleetwood, American Coach, and Midwest Automotive Designs. They make limos and cruisers, but a super luxurious Class B van as well. And then, like I said, the brand that I haven't got up there because we just started selling was 27 North. Their logo is not on that. It is on this one here. I'm actually holding one here. So that's the 27 North one right there.
Beautiful.
And pretty unique. But there it is. Chinook that's their B plus version, which is pretty cool. And so there's some cool stuff that I'm always looking for something unique, Scott. I don't want to carry what every general RV, and they're great, but I don't want to be Walmart. I want to be a boutique. I want to be something niche. I want to be something that people want to find the best dealer and the best brands and bring them together.
And you got it going in spades. So this is a nice comment here. Get your comments and questions coming in for Nick. Lyle says, good to see the two most influential people in me buying my Coachman Nova.
There you go.
You two
Awesome.
together. That's so
I
great.
owe you for that one, Scott.
Let's see. I'm looking for Roads of Light's got a question, but we kind of addressed that. So hopefully you got that. This is a good question. JCA's got a question here. Nick, hey Nick, when will the Road Trek pivots start showing up at Sunshine State RVs? We did a video together from the Super Show on that.
That won your best of the show, right?
I gave it best of show. Yeah, it was stunning.
That's cool. So real impressed with the pivot. We had one for about a week, and then they stole it from me. Road Trek took it back, and they weren't finished with it. So now they're finishing it. They are promising me that we will have some in July. Promising. We've sold a handful of them. Me and your friend Hank Strange did a video on one, and it just blew up. I mean, they have a unique twist on the bathroom. That's what's so unique about it. A couple things. There's a small seat behind the driver seat, kind of like your Travato G. Small seat behind the driver's seat, and then it has twin beds in the back, and then it has a pop top, and then it has this convertible style bathroom, kind of like if you remember the Volkswagen Rialtas, kind of how that had a small bathroom that turned into a big bathroom. It has something like that. So real unique. And then the high quality of Road Trek's been known for forever. But they're promising me we will get them in July. Promising.
Yeah, they kind of roll out the prototype, right? And they get a lot of feedback, and they go back and they kind of tweak, and it just takes time to get it right. And I think that's just what some of the delay is. So I'm glad to know they're starting to materialize a little bit. Nick, so go ahead.
Jack just asked a good question. Isn't Sunshine the deal that delivers anywhere in the U.S.?
We're going to talk about that in just a second. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Answer is yes. Answer is yes. Let's just I see some more questions coming in, but let's talk about your service. I think this is something that makes Sunshine so different, especially compared to the big dealers, right?
Yeah.
So you go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to finish up the brand and then kind of move that into the service, because the brands we don't carry the Walmart type stuff. So like the Thors of the world and the Jaycos and all that stuff. That's not us. You know what? Because we pay such attention to service, which kind of brings us into our next thing, Scott, is that I have to be able to do a video and truly look at you in the eyes and tell you that I like this RV. And there's just RVs I can't do that to. There's RVs I can't sell to you, Scott. If you came and said, sell me an RV, I'd be like, I just can't sell you that one, So I have to be able to stand behind it. So we pick our brands based on service, based on the factory, the manufacturer. Can we service it? What do my technicians say about it? So every week, every month or so, I have different manufacturers bringing RVs to our dealership, and they want us to sell them, especially Class Bs. And so we kind of put it through a little test, and the ones we have are the ones we chose to have. So,
No, you're on the right. Got a business model that works, and just focusing on vans. So, tell us a little bit about the service. So, obviously, you service the brand yourself for the rigs, but there's also a lot of these components inside the rig that makes up the RV system. So, maybe just walk us through that, and then I have another slide to show on the your service.
So we do a lot of modifications. We do a lot of service. We do warranty work for all of our manufacturers. We do warranty work for all of these companies that you're showing here. Our goal is for people. We service everyone, whether you bought from us or not. So I know there's a lot of people on this list who have bought from us, but a lot of people have not. And so we will service everybody. I know, Scott, we were even talking about it. Some places won't even service people that didn't buy from them. We make a point to make sure that we do service from everybody, but we want to make sure that we can give the best service possible. So when you do buy from us, we guarantee service appointments, and we pick up the RV, we deliver the RV, and then we do all different types of modifications, which are, some of the coolest modifications that you can imagine. We do, and like lift the RVs and put these roof racks and bumpers and bike racks and lights everywhere and all this craziness. And yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. The service is so important that it really sets us apart, I believe. Rather, we have the inventory, but we have the service to back it up, and I think that's so important.
Yeah, like so when you buy a rig from Nick and the team, you guarantee them a 5-day, you'll get an appointment in 5 days. That's kind of unusual.
Oh, it's 100% unusual. Nobody else in the entire RV industry does this. We're the only dealership that guarantees service appointments within 5 days. 5 days, if you call and you're going on a trip on Friday, Monday you go out and you realize your fridge is not working. You call us, we get you service within those 5 days. The goal is we have the parts on hand because we specialize and we can get you on the road. We can't always do it, but most of the time we can, but we get you service. We pick it up from your house. We do re-deliver it to you. Anything we can do for people that put their trust in us, we want to make sure that we're, worthy of that trust, I guess you would say. We want to make sure that we stand behind what we do. And, and a lot of it really starts with knowing how to work your RV, because, people always ask me, what's the biggest problem or the biggest fail in these RVs? And a lot of times is people just don't know how to use them. And so they think they need a service appointment. Really, they need to be taught the right way to use their RV. And so it's so important to know the proper way to store your RV and to use your RV and to charge this and use this. And so if, when you're not doing it correctly, you end up breaking things. And then when you break things, you call your dealer and they tell you 3 months out, it all stems from your foundation, and that's something that Sunshine State RVs we do. We teach you how to use your RV. We put you up at a campground. We give you tech support over the phone. If you forget something, we're there with you. So this is what I hope. I want to see the standard in the RV industry be. I don't want people not knowing how to use their RV. It just kills me.
Yeah. And it's just having that support, like the tech support, the valet service, and you do ship nationwide. Tell us about that, since that came up on a question.
Yeah, no, because there's so many people that are watching this and all the other videos that I do. They're all over the country. So we ship for free anywhere in the whole United States. No charge. It gets driven right to your front door. And no charge. And if you want, we fly you here. We rent your car, bring you here. We'll put you on a train. We'll put you on the back of a donkey. However you want to get to Gainesville, we will get you to Gainesville and help you out, get you camping, and take care of whatever we have to do. It's all about getting people experiencing camp. There's one story, Scott, that has stuck out to me for the last 10 years. And I was sitting across from this 80-year-old couple, and they said when we were 18 years old and we were getting married, we were planning out our life. And they said we planned that we would get married, we'd have kids, we'd work, we'd retire, and then we would buy an RV and we would travel around the country in it. And they sat across my desk in tears telling me that story. And I'm just like, man, how do I make that dream come true for everybody that has that dream, obviously. So it's like anything we can do to help that dream come true, we're committed to doing it. Truly, truly committed to doing it.
Yeah, it's so important. I think one of the cool things you also offer is harvest hosts. A lot of this audience knows what a harvest host is, but they get a free membership when you guys purchase through Nick and the team. Do people love harvest hosts?
Oh, they do. They love it. They love it. They use it all the time. I get people come in for service like, oh, I stayed in Harvest Host and I bought this goat cheese. I stayed in Harvest Host and I bought this flour, like whatever it is. And they always bring it in. They always talk about it, and they get all excited about the unique stuff they get to stay and do and see. Yeah, it's cool.
It's super great. I think one of the best features of the program is it takes you places you wouldn't go.
Yeah, 100%.
It's amazing.
I'd recommend anybody buy Harvest Host, and they just had a discount. They just had like a 20% off discount the other day.
Yeah, they've been really adding to their program lately. Let's get a couple questions here, Nick, and then we're going to ask you for a tip or two for people that are shopping for a van, maybe or just got in their van, like Bill and Joe. Have you give us a couple tips there? I've got one. I thought I had a good question teed up. Y'all are pretty. Here's Mississippi Pyro. What's the biggest selling brand now at Sunshine State RV?
Coachman Nova, Coachman Beyond, Coachman Galleria. That's our biggest selling brand.
And Nick just makes the most, just great rigs. Nick of Coachman. Let's see. BB wants to know, hi Scott and Nick, what GPS app would you suggest when you use it offline while driving? My phone is an Android or Rangeline, which is Airstreams product. Just came off the line. Hope to get it soon. Man, do you have a suggestion for an app that works offline?
A map.
Get a paper map, get an atlas. Anybody less than 30 years old won't know how to read it, though. So you're
No clue. There are some that you can download. When I was traveling with my daughter, I took her out to San Francisco, and then we did the Pacific Coast Highway. I was told there was not a lot of cell phone service there, so I just searched offline map, and I downloaded a map, and it treated me well. It's Pacific Coast Highway, it's one road in, one road out type thing.
It is kind of funny.
But Scott, you travel in these things more than I do. I have 4 kids, and one of them's at university.
Gator Dad.
Gator.
Go
So
Gators.
I don't have time to travel as much as everyone else does.
That's your day's coming. Here's Steve. You mentioned this earlier. Nick's shop took care of me. My dealer completely failed to solve a simple issue. So he didn't buy from him, but you took care of him anyway, which is the point here, right? Definitely recommend, he says.
Yeah, no, Steve's great. And one thing that I tell people all the time is, being that we're the number 1 Coachman dealer in the country, we're the number 1 Winnebago, or not Winnebago, Road Trek, American Coach. If you buy that from us and you live in Nebraska, we have pull with the other Coachman dealers in Nebraska. So you buy from us, we can call anywhere in the country and we say, hey, help get our people in. And we have these, agreements with people. So you don't have to come back to us. Steve, we're happy to help Steve, but then other customers of ours, other dealers help. So, we kind of try to help everybody out that needs help. But yeah, no, Steve told me a story and I thought it was pretty cool. And we were definitely able to help him.
That's awesome. This is kind of addressed, but Justin wants to know, Nick, if you can share what has been Sunshine State's top selling Class B this year. The Travado line is generally about 50% of the market. Number 1 selling B van. Is that still pretty accurate?
That is, yeah. The Travado is. It's not our top seller, because so many other super huge dealerships sell it. I would say, if I had to say, our top seller right now is probably Coachman Nova. I would say that is our top seller right now.
That is a beautiful rig.
Great.
Here's Roads of Life. Scott is celebrity wherever he goes.
You had to show that one off, didn't you? I love it.
It's kind of interesting. Here's our Frisco T. So this is Teresa. Glad SSRV will be at the Vantopia. Yeah, we all are.
Yes.
We're going to set up the bar table, Frisco T, in front of Nick's van. That's how we're going to roll this year. This is an interesting question. Catmandu wants to know, Nick, can you share rough comparisons of warranty claims 2021 to 2022 model builds? Curious if there was an improvement in build quality since COVID.
1,000%, yes. During COVID, we would get RVs that were half assembled, I feel like, and we'd have to finish assembling them. Now that's not happening, and we're seeing the factories pay a lot closer attention to what they're doing. A lot less warranty claims now. 1,000%, yes.
And this is a shout out for Pavel 27 North. So, what's their?
I really want to introduce you to this guy. I think you would really like him. You might even want to have him on your show here. Super smart, Class B guy, crazy story, awesome brand. I think you like him a lot.
And what's the website address people can type in?
The27north.com.
The27north.com.
So 27 North is?
Sorry?
Do you know what 27 North is?
Is that a longitude thing or a latitude thing?
It's the sideways one, whichever one's sideways.
Of course, I don't know.
Same line it's the line Mount Everest is on.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so Mount
cool.
Everest, and it goes all the way around the globe. It actually circles back through Florida. I didn't know that.
No way.
Mount Everest is the same as Florida is, and it's like a Mount Everest type thing.
That's amazing. Yeah, we'll have to get connected, and we sort of tried it at the Overland Expo, and that didn't quite work out. But nonetheless, so Rad has a question here. Where is the coupon code for Vantopia? So if you want to camp with our group and get the 5% discount, it's GSLL Scott, I think is what it is. I'll double check that. But they're running out of room. So there's lots of room in the entire campground, but to be in our 4 streets, kind of down the road from Sunshine State,
We'll be
street.
your overflow, Scott. So
Yeah,
so if you
there
run
you go.
out, you can send people to us. We'll be your overflow.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
We are giving away free spots if people buy an RV and they ask for one. We will give a free Vantopia spot on Sunshine Avenue.
That is so great. And he's doing tie-dye t-shirt classes later that same.
You laugh. So funny story. We're making tie-dye T-shirts for the Vantopia.
No way. Well, you got to, right? That's so great. Nick, maybe share just one tip that somebody that has got their new RV, what's one tip that you see a lot of customers make the mistake of doing? Maybe just share one thing, then we're going to move into Libation Live.
Ooh. I don't have a tip. Let's just move. No, I'm joking. So, there's a lot. There's a lot. I would say, truly learn how to use your RV. I know I said that earlier. Battery management is a big deal. Don't go crazy buying a bunch of stuff and doing all these upgrades for your RV until you truly know how you're going to use it and what you're going to do. We have a lot of people come in and they want a $20,000 batteries upgrade system, and then I convince them to wait a couple months, camp, and then try it, and then they end up loving the van and they don't need all that. So it's kind of, I would say just, buy the van, try it out, and then after your first month or two, figure out what you want. And then that's going to save you money, hassle, headache down the line. I was thinking about something I tell every customer when they leave our dealership is that these RVs get really hot inside. And so the little secret that I tell people is to use your front AC, cover all your windows, use your back AC. And then once the temperature gets to where you want it, then you can turn your engine off, because these RVs can't always keep up with the Florida heat. And so I don't know if that's a tip so much as something that I tell people that has worked, help keep these metal boxes cool inside.
And that's what they are, right? They're a steel box on four wheels. And I would add to your awesome tip is to keep the van out of the sunlight.
That's a better one.
It sounds obvious. And if you have to be in the sunlight, point your rear end of the van at the sun, not the cab, because it fills up with heat like the greenhouse. So it's little tips like that, right?
But the AC is very powerful, and it will help you cool the van down. It saves on your AC. It doesn't have to work as hard. It saves your batteries. They don't have to be used as much. And so, using the front AC to cool the van down, close the windows, get it to the desired temperature, turn your front AC off, and your rooftop AC will be able to keep up better.
That is so true. We got a couple questions. We're going to shift to Libation Live. Deborah wants to know, Nick, do you have a Travato GL in stock with the battery upgrade? So the 4 modules versus 3.
So I know we have a Travato GL in stock. I do not know off the top of my head if it has the upgrade, but you know what? I'm on my website right now, so I can tell you if it has it.
And what Deborah's talking about, folks, in case you don't know, so the standard Volta implementation and the
it does. What do you know?
4 modules.
I have a GL with the 4 modules.
That is juicy.
It's white with blue, indigo, and walnut cabinets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty juicy. Yeah, so the bigger batteries gives you more runtime, less charging. I wish I had one. They didn't offer it at the time. All right, let's see. Here's Tin Can Carl. Tin Can Carl. I see. We know Tin Can Carl. We actually saw him in the in your service bay in February, I think it was. What does Nick think about Wingham?
Yeah, super unique. Super unique. Carl's a great guy. Super unique, and I just hope they can get to the United States. That's my. I think that they can do something cool if they can get here.
Yep, and they're working really hard on that. All right, let's do Libation Live. So the purpose of this is not to watch us drink booze on YouTube Live, but I think one of the greatest things for me about exploring and roaming is discovery. And I've discovered food, culture, music, bourbon, largely a lot of times from Harvest Host sites. So that's what this is about, just kind of sharing this with you. So Nick's got his teed up. Nick, what are you sharing with us? Or sharing with us? What are you having?
I am virtually sharing it. So Winnebago does something what they call a Flying W Award. You have to meet certain criteria for your service scores, your sales scores. You have to be basically perfect to get it. And we are the only dealership in the state of Florida that earned the Flying W for the state of Florida, and that's all the dealerships. So we are one of their preferred premier dealerships, and so because of that, they gave me a bottle. See where it says Winnebago? You see that?
Yep.
Of Jefferson's Reserve.
Ooh.
And look at the age. Very old.
Let me zoom in for you. Hold on. There it is.
Very old.
Very old. What the
Very
heck?
old Jefferson's Reserve. I don't know how old. It's very old. And there is the Winnebago.
That is so
I was
beautiful.
saving this for a special occasion, and I feel like Libation Live on Scott Watson's channel is that special occasion.
Let's do it.
So an hour ago, I got a big ice cube in my cup, and my RV's cold enough that it's still decently big. I just poured the water out in another cup I brought just so it doesn't get watered down.
Good job. And I'm trying to kill a bottle, although
What is that?
A little bit. So this is Clyde Mays. I discovered this in Montgomery. It's an Alabama brand of whiskey. Actually, this is the Special Reserve. This too is very old, aged 6 years.
Not older than mine because mine says it's very old.
Woo! This is good stuff. I do like this.
You have the big ice cube, Scott?
Oh, I like it neat, sir.
Oh, I'm an ice cube guy.
The
ice cube. My wife is out of town at my daughter's volleyball tournament, and so my plan was to have a bourbon tonight anyways.
Nice.
So this
is a good cause. Cheers. Thank you, Nick, for being here and sharing with us.
Yes,
cheers,
sir.
everybody.
Cheers.
Ooh. This is pretty good. How was that?
Winnebago hooked me up.
Hook you up.
They're proud of you. I gotta get you one of these, Scott.
I am not ever turning down bourbon, although I've probably got close to 35 bottles in here now. I've managed to wean that a little bit.
You might be over the weight limit of your
It's a testament to Winnebago cabinetry because, I mean, I literally have half of the back cabinet filled with bourbon. It must weigh, I don't know, pick a number, 50 pounds. And the thing, and they're bouncing and jostling. It's just the craziest thing. That's so awesome. So cheers. Oh yeah, so this Libation Live, this is what I'm drinking, and I actually prefer this one more. This one's not quite as special, but it hits my palate a little better. Nice. Let's take a few more questions, and then we're going to talk about this day in history. We got some big juicy ones. We're bringing this back because people did enjoy it. I queried a few of you. Mud Pie wants to know, Nick, how do you service people rigs from out the area who from you?
Who bought from us is what he's asking. So if you're within 100 miles, we pick it up from your house, bring it to our dealership, fix it, and deliver it back to you. If you bought from us, if you didn't buy from us, you got to bring it in and do it. And if you're, let's say, 1,000 miles away, we give you tech support over the phone. A lot of stuff can be fixed by us kind of helping you walk through a few things. Not everything, obviously. And so those things you would take to your local dealer or wherever you are, and we're happy to call that dealership and help you set up some type of appointment or try to get you squeezed in a lot sooner than just calling yourself.
Sounds fair. Kay wants to know which brand of your Class Bs have a rear corner bath. A Travado G would be an example.
The other one would be a Chinook Bayside. So the Ford Transit, they have a corner. One corner is the toilet room. The other corner is the shower. And so there's an aisle down the middle. And so both corners have. So Chinook Bayside is another one.
There you go. Sharon wants to know here, Nick, when you deliver a van out of state, if you drive the van towing a car or do you transport the van on a car transporter?
So we do all of them. So depends. If it's within a couple hundred miles, we will we'll just drive the RV and tow a car. We have a little Nissan Versa that weighs 1,000 pounds, and so we tow the car. If it's more than 1,000 miles, we drive it and then have the driver just fly back. If the customer really wants it flatbedded, we can do that as well. We have our own flatbed truck. Because we pick up all of our RVs in Indiana. We don't let any of them get driven to us. We want to be the first ones to drive it, and most people want to come in and put the beginning miles on their RV. They don't want somebody else doing that. And so we have our own flatbed trucks, semi trucks, all that stuff that we use.
That's pretty cool. That's kind of unusual, actually, right?
Yeah, no one else does it. I mean, they all say, what? Like all the factories, like, you have your own transport trucks? Yeah, we have our own transport trucks. They're pretty neat, actually.
Pretty cool. This is an interesting question. Heart is where you roam. Love that. What is the lowest credit score to buy an RV?
So to finance, depends on the price. If it's a cheaper RV, your local bank can hook you up. If it's like just a traditional new RV from us, it needs to be over 700. And then they typically want 10% down, financing for 20 years at about 7-ish% interest right now is the typical financing term.
So 7. That's so it's gone up a little bit, but not huge.
Oh, it's not 10 or 12 or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, a couple more here. Mason Mike, hey Scott, you need your own section at Vento. We have 4 streets between Go Small and Embassy, and then we got Sunshine down the road from us. They've got 2 streets, right? So it's going to be pretty exciting. Deborah, I think we talked about this, but Rick or Nick, what kind of rig are you in again?
I am in an American Coach Patriot. It's an Eco Freedom, and it is not the same one used by Roadtrek. This Roadtrek batteries are KS2 batteries, which is a Canadian manufacturer. These batteries this whole lithium system is made by Dragonfly, which is a segment of Battleborn. So they have 1,080 amp hours of lithium batteries. 1,080 amp hours.
That's a lot, I think.
And
I always do things in watts, so I always get confused. But
So I can show you real quick if you.
Let's give us a little van tour here. We might go over a few minutes. Hopefully that doesn't bother anybody.
I'm in the couch now. This is my laptop that I'm showing it on. So there's my bourbon. Here's my light, so that way you guys can see my pretty face. So here is the van. So there's the front of it. There's a kitchen, the TV, the bathroom. There's a big TV up front. This one actually has 4 seats in the front. I don't know how to get this thing level. There you go. 4 seats in the front, and the couch in the back. So that's 7 seat belts and a couch. So 7 seat belts in total, which is really nice. It's nice because you can carry people if you want, and if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Right? Thanks for that virtual tour. That was awesome. And you didn't knock anything over.
No, I know. I got my bourbon still, my coffee cup. I got my 14-year-old daughter's fancy light here.
Don't break that.
No.
Maybe run down to the old Best Buy. This is an interesting question of Nick from BB. What do you see as the future of electric or hybrid vans? What do you think is coming? So a lot of emphasis on this. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so it is definitely coming. Winnebago has been working on it very tirelessly. But this is a great question for Nick Recchio next week. We can leave you a little cliffhanger. This can be Scott. I would definitely recommend you having this conversation with Nick.
Okay.
I would love for Coachman to make the first real electric van that can go more than 80 miles, because right now they do not go far. Hank Strange bought one, and he just bought a Transit electric van, and it just can't go anywhere. That's the problem. So if we can get Nick Recchio building an electric van, we will solve all the world's problems.
That is so great. Let's share, because we want to start incorporating the this day in history as part of our libation. This will be a shout out or just a freebie for the crowd. That is really lovely. How's yours? Yours is pretty good.
Oh, it's smooth as can be. I really thought it was gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be as smooth as it is, and really smooth. Am I allowed to pour a second one while I'm on air? Or do I have to wait for that?
No, you can do that. We'll go for a few more minutes. So this day in history, again, it's about the discovery in the van that has just keeps this program rolling. me and my van. So we just like to share, and we run into so much history in our vans, right? And there's something about reading about the Custer battlefield, but when you're standing on it and in it and it's all around you, it's like, oh, I get it now. So this day in history, this comes from our friends at Wikipedia. So I built most of the show yesterday. This will give some of you a little ding in the brain about remembering this. So 8 years ago, man's opened fire on the police headquarters in Dallas. Remember that? That was a crazy thing. And then 40 years ago, yesterday, Pioneer 10 becomes the first man-made object leaving the central solar system when it passes beyond the orbit of Neptune. So today, more space stuff. I love space stuff. Now, I did not know this. They must have been keeping this quiet. A near-Earth asteroid misses the Earth by 75,000 miles, about one-third the distance between Earth and the Moon. I know. Now, that thing was big. Have you been to Meteor Crater, Nick, in Arizona?
No, I haven't. Where's that at?
It's by Winslow, Arizona. That thing was about the size of a bus when it hit, and it made this extraordinary meteor crater. And depending on what this near miss was like, it would have been something else. This is kind of interesting too. The President Eisenhower signs a bill into law, places the words "under God" into the United States Pledge of Allegiance. That happened 69 years ago today. And then in World War II, the German occupation of Paris begins 83 years ago today in 1940. And 248 years ago, the American Revolutionary War. You probably heard of that, right, Nick?
Yes.
The Continental Army is established by the Continental Congress, making it the birth of the United States Armed Forces.
Wow. Is that why this is Flag Day? I mean, because today's Flag Day, right?
Today's Flag Day. Somebody said that in the comments here. So that's kind of interesting. Our armed forces, they do such a great job for us. I just always have a soft spot in my heart for our armed forces, women.
Scott, so many people that buy these vans are retired military of some sort, and some of the best camping I've heard is on these armed force bases all over America. So being a veteran, you can use these bases, and they have some of the best camping that people show me pictures and they show me videos that they've done, and I'm always impressed. And I'm glad that our country has campsites at these bases that people can use. I think it's free. I mean, or super cheap or something.
Super cheap. Yeah, I've never been on one because I'm not a veteran person, but if somebody can get me out there, that would be great. Yeah. Let's see if there's a couple more questions. This one, Nick, is by Show My Dog Element. Why are these Class B Winnebago Solis under $75,000? Even a custom build is a lot more dollars than these two brands. How is the quality? Is the quality bad, or what is the story on these? I think they're setting a price point. Right?
So they are a good price point. So Winnebago makes Solis, so it's not two brands. It's Winnebago Solis. They're not under 75 anymore. When they first started, but they have no bathroom. Some have an air conditioner. They don't have a generator. They do not. So there's a lot of things they don't have. They're like people use them as a second car. They use them if they're plugging in. They use them if they're not in Florida, because you got to have air conditioner, generator, some way to power that air conditioner. But the Winnebago Solis Pocket is the one that is most likely what you're referring to. There's not a lot of them under $75,000 anymore, though, if any. I mean, none of our Solis Pockets.
And they're on the smaller Ram.
Oh, yeah, the 1500, so 17 feet long.
Yeah. It's a great little rig.
For what it is a great little rig, yes.
And I just, always remind people that I've been living in my van now since February 2019 full time. You know how many times I've opened these cupboards, flushed the toilet, my Thetford toilet. My Nova Cool's been running for 5 years. I've had it off maybe 45 days total in 5 years. I mean, Winnebago knows how to build a product.
Yeah, they do.
It's just.
I would say it's definitely not less quality. The Solis is not less quality than your Travato. Like same quality, same builds.
Yeah. Let's share. I just want to flash this up on the screen. Then we're going to go just a couple minutes over right here. Just to kind of alert the audience that I started a new weekly news program that comes out every Tuesday morning. So it's going to be RV News Headline. These are the headlines from this week. We'll do another one next week. Go, sir. Go for it. If you haven't seen that video, you'll want to see it. There's some pretty cool stuff there, including KOA launching a roadside assistance program. And the Chinese are really taking a shine to RVing. Let me get the number for you. Please hold. You'll be astounded that Chinese in 2015, there was a total of 30,000 RVs in China. Now, 2021, there's 283,000 RVs in China. And that's in a country with 1 billion people. That's pretty crazy, right? So if you haven't seen that, this is the RV News headline for this last week. Another one coming out next week. So give me your feedback on that. I've gotten really good feedback already. Let's do a song of the week real quick, and then we'll look, Nick, for some last questions or comments. So this is an old song referencing a phonograph. Now, if you're under 30 years old, 20 years old, these are actually kind of cool again.
I have bought both of my daughters record players and records in the last 3 years.
How about 8-track? Is that coming back? I don't know.
No, 8-track's not coming back. Polaroid cameras, record players, all of it.
All this stuff, the retro stuff, right? This is our song of the week. Tina Turner recently died. This is one of my favorite Tina Turner songs, Proud Mary. Now it's with her former husband, Ike. They were together for about 16 years. This song, Proud Mary, is number 212 on the Billboard Greatest Albums, 500 albums in total. So we're right in the middle. If you haven't heard this lately, spin this up on your music player, because it'll get your toes tapping for sure. That's it. Don't play it too loud because you're gonna kill my YouTube. I know, right? They're gonna ding me for copyright. It's a great song. So let's see. Look for a few more comments here. We talked about hybrids, and you must know this. Is this real?
I have no idea. I saw
Ida Brown says, you forgot 32 years today. That's Nick Schmidt got his high school.
It's not real. 32 years ago, I was in elementary school, so I have no idea what Amda Brown talks about.
I know, right? What is going on? Here's a good one. You might know this. Day 49 says, are there any transit trail-based RVs out there yet?
No. So they are making them, and there are none out in the wild yet. No. There are like 3 that are being kind of tested, prototypes, but there are none for sale yet. That's a great question for Nick Recchio next week, because that was my question to him last week. When are we getting transit trails? And so put that, Scott, as your so talk to him about e-vans and transit trails. I'm giving you an assignment. E-vans, transit trails.
We'll see if his answer to me and us matches your answers.
Yes.
That is so great. Well, we're going to call it a wrap. Nick, stay right there. But just thank you, everybody, for joining live. We had a lot of people in here tonight. This is really great. Thank you again for being on, Nick, and just showcasing your passion for this, for the products, and really for the lifestyle. To me, that's really what it's about. And then as people roam around, they discover things, and then they make friends, and then they roam around together. I just roamed around with Beyond Intentions for a few days, and it truly is a life-changing event. It's so awesome. So thank you, sir.
Yes. I appreciate you, Scott, letting me come on here and, talk about RVs and drink bourbon. And,
Let's brother. Let's give a final toast. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
Thank you, Nick. Hang tight. See you all next Wednesday for What's Up Wednesday. Until we see you soon, we say journey on and peace be with you. Thanks again.